Ladies and gentlemen, everything in this world begins unseen. The tallest tree once lay dormant in a seed, the grandest building was first a thought in the architect's mind, and the life you dream of is already real, though not yet in form. Everything that has ever existed first took shape in the unseen realm of thought. Before a house is built, its blueprint must be drawn. Before a song is played, it must be heard in the mind of the composer. Every great achievement, every invention, every transformation in the world began as an idea that someone dared to believe in before the world could see it. Imagination is not a fleeting daydream, it is the very foundation of creation. It is not separate from reality, but rather the unseen side of it. What you vividly imagine with deep conviction and feeling is already in motion toward manifestation. The world you live in is simply the outpicturing of your past thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When you grasp this truth, you begin to understand that you are never waiting for the world to change. You are waiting for your inner convictions to solidify so that reality has no choice but to conform. Consider for a moment that everything around you, every object, every system, every piece of technology, was once just a thought in someone's mind. The electricity that powers your home was once an invisible idea in the mind of those who dared to believe in harnessing energy. The device in your hands, the clothes you wear, the very chair you sit upon, all existed first as a concept before they were brought into physical form. The process of creation is always the same. Thought comes first, reality follows. They wait for the evidence before they believe. They need to see wealth in their bank account before they believe they are prosperous. They need to hear words of love before they feel worthy of it. They need to experience health before they accept that they are whole. This backward way of thinking traps them in an endless cycle, for the world is only a mirror. It cannot reflect what is not first assumed within. If you wish to create change, you must begin where all creation begins, in your imagination. You must dare to see what is not yet visible, to hold on to a vision so clearly that it becomes more real to you than the physical world. You must feel the success, the love, the abundance, or the joy as if it were already yours. When you do this, you are not simply indulging in fantasy. You are setting into motion the forces that will bring it into reality. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you consistently dwell upon a thought with deep emotion, your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. It begins to shape your actions, your perceptions, and even the very circumstances of your life to align with that belief. What was once unseen moves through the invisible corridors of creation until it stands before you in undeniable form. This is why those who succeed do not wait for proof, they create it. They hold firm to their vision even when nothing in the external world confirms it. They do not allow doubt or fear to dictate their belief. They persist, knowing that reality must eventually conform to their inner assumption. But here lies the great secret. Imagination alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by feeling. It is not the casual thought of success that creates success, but the deep, unwavering emotional conviction that it is already done. The stronger the feeling, the more quickly it materializes. The more you embody the state of having what you desire, the more rapidly the world must adjust to reflect it. This is why a mind filled with doubt, worry, or fear will only produce more of the same. Whatever feeling dominates your consciousness becomes the blueprint for your reality. If you wish to see abundance, you must feel abundant now. If you wish to experience love, you must cultivate the feeling of being loved within yourself first. If you wish for success, you must step into the state of already being successful before the world confirms it. Nothing is ever truly created in the moment it appears. It has already been created long before in the realm of thought and belief. The key is to align your mind with the unseen truth of what you desire and trust in its inevitable unfolding. When you do this, you will no longer chase success, it will come to you. You will no longer seek validation from the world. The world will validate what you already know within. Everything begins unseen, but that does not make it unreal. The unseen is simply the reality that has not yet made itself known to the senses. Those who master this understanding hold the power to shape their destiny. And when you grasp this truth, you will no longer doubt whether your desires will come to pass. You will know that they already exist, waiting for the moment you allow them to be seen. Belief is not something you develop after seeing results. The world operates on a principle that many fail to recognize. You do not receive what you merely wish for, you receive what you deeply assume to be true. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled means to embody the state of already having what you desire. It is to move beyond hoping, beyond wanting, and step into the certainty that it is already done. This is not a mental trick or a form of self-deception. It is the law by which all things are created. Every great change, every fulfilled desire, every success story begins with a person who dared to believe in something that the world could not yet see. Most people live their lives reacting to their current circumstances. They see lack and believe in lack. They see struggle and accept it as their fate. They become prisoners of their environment, allowing what is outside of them to dictate what they feel within. But the truth is, the outer world is always a reflection of the inner world. If you wish to change what you experience, you must first change the state you dwell in. Think of a person who desires wealth. If they look at their bank account and feel anxiety, they are reinforcing lack. If they walk through life constantly thinking about how little they have, they are deepening that condition. But if they instead assume the feeling of already being prosperous, if they carry themselves with the quiet confidence of one who is financially secure, if they think, speak, and act as though wealth is their natural state, then the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match that assumption. The same applies to love. A person who feels unworthy of love will unconsciously repel it, even if it is offered to them. But one who assumes the feeling of being loved, cherished, and valued will naturally attract experiences that confirm that assumption. Their very energy changes, their posture, their voice, their actions begin to reflect the inner belief that they are loved, and soon life mirrors that belief back to them. The process is simple, yet most find it difficult because they have been conditioned to believe only in what their senses tell them. They look at the world and say, I will believe it when I see it, but creation does not work that way. You will see it because you believed it first. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must make it real within yourself before it appears in your external world. You must feel the joy, the confidence, the relief, the gratitude, as if your desire has already been granted. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you persist in this assumption, if you refuse to accept anything less than your vision, then what was once invisible will soon become undeniable reality. The world you experience is not separate from you, it is a reflection of you. Every event, every encounter, every circumstance is responding to the assumptions you hold within. Life does not happen to you, it happens through you. What you consistently believe, feel, and assume to be true is projected outward, shaping the conditions of your life.
Many live under the illusion that external factors determine their reality. They believe they are at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or fate. But if they would only pause and examine their experiences, they would see a pattern, one that perfectly mirrors their inner state. The person who expects failure often encounters failure. The one who feels unworthy of love finds themselves in relationships that confirm that belief. The one who constantly worries about money struggles to attain it. These are not coincidences, they are reflections. The outer world is simply a screen onto which the mind projects its deepest assumptions. If you want to know what you truly believe, look at your life. It is always showing you what you assume to be true, even if you are not consciously aware of it. Consider the individual who is constantly overlooked in their career. They may blame their boss, the job market, or bad luck, but beneath the surface, they hold a belief that they are not worthy of advancement. Their actions, tone, and body language unknowingly communicate that belief, and so the world responds accordingly. If they were to shift their assumption, to genuinely see themselves as valuable, capable, and deserving, opportunities would begin to unfold in ways they never imagined. The same principle applies to relationships. If someone carries the belief that people cannot be trusted, they will continuously attract experiences that reinforce that assumption. They will interpret every action with suspicion, unconsciously pushing others away until their world confirms exactly what they feared. But if they were to change their belief, to truly assume that love and trust are natural, that people respond to them with kindness and sincerity, their reality would transform. You are not bound by the past. The experiences you have lived were not dictated by fate, but by the state you occupied at that time. The moment you shift within, the world must follow. It has no choice. It is law. But this transformation requires persistence. The world will not change instantly, just as a reflection in a mirror does not alter until you move. You must hold firm to your new assumption, ignoring the temporary evidence of the old. It may take days, weeks, or months, but if you remain unwavering, reality will conform. Do not seek to change the world directly. Instead, change the assumptions that gave birth to it. Step into the feeling of the life you wish to experience. Embody the beliefs of the person you desire to be, and then watch as the world bends to reflect your new reality. Doubt is the destroyer of creation. It is the force that unravels what you have set in motion, the silent thief that steals the reality you are in the process of manifesting. The moment you question whether your desire will come to pass, you disrupt the very process that was bringing it to you. To bring the unseen into the seen, you must persist in your assumption with absolute certainty, regardless of what the world appears to show you. The greatest challenge most people face is not in forming a desire, but in holding on to it without allowing doubt to take root. They begin with excitement, imagining their success, feeling the joy of their wish fulfilled. But then, when they do not see immediate evidence, their faith wavers. They look at their current reality, which does not yet reflect their vision, and they begin to question, what if it doesn't happen? What if I am only fooling myself? And in that moment, they undo the work they have begun. Creation is like planting a seed. If you were to plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check whether it is growing, you would prevent it from ever taking root. The same is true for your desires. Once you have assumed your wish fulfilled, you must trust that it is unfolding even if you cannot yet see it. The unseen forces of creation are always at work, rearranging circumstances, moving people, orchestrating events in ways beyond your comprehension. But they can only work if you do not interfere with doubt. Many people make the mistake of looking to their senses for confirmation before they believe. They expect to see change before they commit to their new assumption. But this is the reverse of how reality. You must believe first without needing proof, and only then will proof appear. If you waver, if you allow the old reality to convince you that nothing is happening, you are like a person who keeps resetting a clock before it has had a chance to reach the appointed hour. This is why persistence is the key. There will be moments when your external world appears unchanged, when obstacles arise, when everything seems to be moving in the opposite direction of your desire. This is where most people give up. But those who hold firm, who refuse to be swayed by appearances, who remain steadfast in their assumption, these are the ones who see their desires manifest. Your only responsibility is to maintain the inner conviction that what you have claimed is already yours. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen, when it will happen, or through whom it will come. Your role is to persist in the state of having, knowing that reality must conform. The moment you accept something as true in your inner world, the outer world begins its silent, inevitable shift to bring it to you. Hold fast to your vision, and what was once invisible will soon become undeniable. Everything you desire already exists in the unseen. It is only waiting for you to accept it as real. Your imagination is not separate from reality, but the very foundation of it. The world around you is a mirror, reflecting the thoughts and assumptions you hold within. If you wish to change what you see, you must first change what you believe. The key is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, to persist in that assumption without doubt, and to trust that the unseen is more real than what your senses currently show you. Reality does not create belief. Belief creates reality. The moment you claim something as yours in consciousness, the world begins shifting to match it. You are the creator of your experience. There is no power outside of you dictating your fate. The only limits you face are those you accept. If you dare to believe in what you cannot yet see, if you refuse to waver in your assumption, then what was once only a vision will become the life you live. Hold fast to this truth, persist in your belief, and watch as the unseen becomes seen.